Dragon Ball Super.
Deafening to anybody else?
Make sure you subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. It's been a long con weekend. Satisfaction. My voice sounds like a bag of shit.
Yes, yeah, so
on the mic. It's crackling. Blah 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 blah.
Bama Jera.
Brian Sleeper is in the house. We were at a con today. We fucked around. Bam Majira bought him some vodka.
Yeah, they're gonna find him in a ditch in Providence because of
Dude, alright, so I'm standing at the bar. I'm just trying to fucking get I got a whiskey. And I'm standing there and I look to my right. And there's this dude in like a red, like velvet suit. Exactly.
Velvet.
A red velvet suit. And I look to my right. I'm like, holy shit, dude, you're Bam Majira. And he goes, yeah, I am. I'm like, cool, man. Hey, would it be out of line to ask you to get a picture? And he said, no, man, absolutely. So I go to grab my phone. And the dude who was with him, like his handler or whatever, was like, actually, he'll take a picture with you if you buy him a vodka soda. I'm like,
weirdly specific.
Yeah, like he knew what he wanted, basically. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like if I went and met him at his table, it would have been like $20 or $30 or whatever.
Yeah, probably more $20.
I bought him a $7 vodka soda, and I got a picture with close to 300 likes on Facebook.
From like a few hours ago.
But it was fucking bizarre, man. Like,
It's a setup, man.
Geez, is that what you think of it?
He's like, oh man, free drinks, yeah.
Like you to buy him
I mean, honestly, good fucking call. That's exactly what I would do
smart,
if I fucking worked in the con world.
He just drinks for pictures. That's what he does.
That's real smart, though.
It's been a weird weekend. So, welcome into Dragon Ball Super Dope. I think I said it. Subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, all that bullshit. If you rate the show, that's cool as hell. Because, you know, that shit's worth its weight in gold. So don't dick around and fucking write a review. If you do, we'll give you some free shit. By free shit, I mean, like, some candy. I don't know, we'll mail you some candy. So anyway, Rhode Island Comic Con weekend.
Yeah.
My name's Kyle. David Mike Norm.
Yep.
Brian fucking Sleeper.
Brian fucking Sleeper.
Making his third Super Dope appearance.
Oh, yeah.
In a week, bro.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
I'm saying. So, this is actually, so what we're doing today is we're just doing like a post Rhode Island Comic Con wrap up. We did our panel, our Dragon Ball Super Dope, the Future of Dragon Ball Super panel on Friday night. Interesting night. We will talk more about Friday in a moment. But
Very
So
interesting.
long ago.
it feels like forever ago, dude. And honestly, it was a little over 48 hours ago. It has been such a fucking long weekend. But Brian is the guy who got us into Game On last week. And I'm trying to figure out a main podcast vehicle for your ass, but whatever, we'll get there when we do.
Yeah.
The mics roll. So we had the panel Friday night, and then today was like my one and only day to really kind of get buck wild. The last 2 days I've been running
Super
around.
responsible.
It's been the fucking worst, man. Like, I'm the most irresponsible person I know in general. All right.
See, I gotta work.
Never mind con weekends. I'm like, yo, y'all motherfuckers serve booze here. It's about to get ugly. But Friday, we flyered for the 4 or 5 hours we were there trying to get people into the panel. Yeah. Saturday, I could only go for 2.5 hours. So I hung out and flyered for a skew. I went there today, and I forgot the flyers.
He shows up. He's like, "Do you have any flyers on you?" I was
Dude,
like,
you had 8, and I handed them out
in my car
like,
on the other side of the convention
center. They went
center.
so fast.
Yeah,
they went so fast. It was a pretty good
They were
day for
gone
Dragon
before
Ball
we
fans.
even walked back to the dunk.
No, they went back.
Do the Goku shirt. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Like shirt.
That's how I address people all weekend. Hey, man, what's going on?
What's up?
Except stack of them.
Did you have a whole stack of them?
I left a small stack of them on the table near the Sky Mall.
Oh, there you go.
Like a random empty table. I'm like,
man,
yeah,
that's smart.
Just pretend this is our table.
So basically, my rule of thumb was, I want to give, and this was Friday to get him in for the convention, or get him in for the panel, rather.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they got a Dragon Ball shirt, if they're cosplaying as Dragon Ball, if they have Dragon Ball merch, I'll hand it to them. I handed I handed out maybe like 10, maybe. And I went back with the same idea on Saturday, like, I'm going to hand out shit for a SKU, I'm going to get people in the door. And I fucking approached this one dude, and he had a Resurrection F shirt on, tucked into his pants, like really hard, and he had a backpack on, like strapped, like, you know those backpacks with like, you got like both shoulder straps and there's like a strap that goes across your chest?
Yes.
Like extra security.
Super secure.
He had one of those. And I was like, oh, and I turned around and started walking with him, and I was like, hey, buddy. And as I like got up over his shoulder, he like turned his head a little bit, and I realized that his mouth was perpetually like this, and that he had some real tight braces across the entire fucking front of his fucking face, and that he was talking to himself. So I then said to myself and out loud, I was like, you know what? Never mind. I turned around and walked away.
You know what? Never mind.
You know what? Never mind. But other than that, dude, every Dragon Ball fan I met over the weekend was pretty good.
Saw a couple cool Dragon Ball tattoos. They were It would have been cool if it was Vegeta, but you know.
Yo, Martinelli got another fucking Dragon Ball tattoo today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he got a fucking Son Goku on the Nimbus on his fucking forearm, I think.
No,
It looks awesome.
My buddy
Whoever the
Steve's got
artist
a big
is.
old one on
it's
his
also like
leg
the
with
hand
the...
thing.
No.
That's what I was talking
But
about.
there was this one dude.
I said the arm thing. I said it'd be cooler if it was Vegeta, but it was like a Goku, and on his like middle where his elbow was, and it went down, and his arm got smaller, and it looked like his hand was like Goku's fist.
So
You
I
know?
bumped into Brian on Friday.
That sounds pretty cool.
Man, I told somebody about it. They got a Dragon Ball tattoo.
Yeah.
It was Goku on the forearm. I'm like, oh, that's
I was
cool.
all telling him about it. I was like,
And
"This
he's
is a
like,
cool idea."
it's like his arm, and then like it's his hand, and like it's like his hand's Goku's hand. I'm like, you mean that Goku's gonna be jerking that dude off for the rest of his life?
And I was like, "Oh shit!" I
And
never
then
thought
Brian
of that.
tries to retaliate. He's like, no, man, no. It was on his
Left-
left. I'm
it's
like,
his left
I'm
arm.
Like, nah, dude, I go lefty all the time.
You gotta get like a Bulma tattoo like that or something.
Oh, Bulma.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Norman.
Monica
man.
Rial, man, my new crush.
Yeah. How'd you feel, man? I went and talked to her again today.
I was near speechless.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we can kind of openly talk about it. We've alluded to it on the show. We talked about it on the Game On thing, I think. But all right, dude, this is actually great. Brian, I wish you were there, dude. Nobody's going to believe how bad this genuinely was. So the idea was we got press passes, right, on a Friday. 7 days later, the following Friday, we got the approval to do the fan panel. So I'm like, all right, great. We had, I think it was just over or just under 2 weeks to get our act together for it. So I'm like, well, Monica Rial's going to be there. She knows that we exist. I'm going to try to hit her up on Twitter and see if she'll step away from her table for an hour, and we'll try to put a Q&A on with just her. That will definitely get people in the room, no problem, right? So hit her on Instagram. She don't read that shit. I hit her on Twitter. I'm like, hey, Monica, I sent you some shit on Instagram. Coming to Rhode Island Comic Con, come hang out. She's like, cool. But I also said, like, I also emailed your agent, Gilbert. She's like, oh, cool. Like, he'll let me know what's up. I'm like, yeah, he will. Dope. Nothing back from Gilbert. So 3 or 4 days later, Carlton sends me a text message. He's like, hey, man, you're on the website for the panel on Friday night. That's cool. Look what's in the hall right before you. Same room. So we did our panel from 7:15 to 8. From 6:15 to 7 was Meet the Characters of My Hero Academia. And I'm like, Meet the Characters? I swear, when it was originally posted, it said Meet the Voices of.
Yeah.
But it has since been changed to say Meet the Characters. I thought that Meet the Characters, Meet the Voices, whatever it said, that meant they were going to be the voice actors are going to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, that must mean Monica's already spoken for an hour beforehand. What are the odds that she's gonna want to do 2 panels in the same room back to back like that? Maybe I'll just like ease up, you know? So I ease up. My idea is, whatever. If she is in the room, it'll be packed. If we get there early and go watch the panel, we can at least hand out flyers and be like, hey guys, don't fucking go anywhere after this. We're talking about Dragon Ball exclusively, right? I walk in, and it is two little girls, I would say, age 16 or younger, probably younger. I think maybe they were like in the 8th grade. One is dressed as Deku, aka Izuku Midoriya, and the other is dressed like Katsuki Bakugo, aka Kachan from My Hero Academia. And yeah, they weren't really talking about anything except they continually ask the audience, like, hey, if you have any questions, we'll answer them in character. And everyone's like, nobody asked them shit. It was like,
Nobody asked them shit.
Nobody asked them anything. And like, there was another Deku in the crowd that they were floundering so badly and were so awkward. They were like, hey, you're Deku too. Why don't you come up here and join us? And like, that kid did 2 Fortnite dances. And like that kid filled his, yeah, he did the
yeah, they're trying to fill time
and
here.
then the running, and then there was one dude who looked like Tomura Shigaraki with a big fucking not decapitated, but a big fucking decaying hand on his face. He had the best cosplay, but like he's got a fucking face with a hand on it, so you can't really talk. As everything that he fucking said, it was the worst panel I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Oh man.
But like, they were 16 or under, so like they had a solid crew of like 10, 12 high school age kids who were just like, woo, yeah, we're friends on Facebook. We're friends on Insta.
Woohoo.
The little girl who was dressed as Katsuki Bakugo just kept calling everybody thoughts. And I was like, stop it. When you use it that much, it loses its meaning. I was so fucking mad. Man. I walked around angry about this panel for a goddamn week. I'm like, oh man, wish we thought of this sooner. We should have reached out to Monica sooner. I can't believe she got to do this instead of our shit. And then it's 2 girls in the 8th fucking grade.
And she didn't even do it.
And she's like, yeah, I got this cosplay at a place in Boston. It was $25. I was like, oh my God. You got a Halloween costume, stop it.
Halloween costume.
So literally though, as much as I just complained about that was my only negative experience with the con all weekend. Everything about this convention this year, and you can go back and listen to, I don't know what episode number it is, but we did an episode last year. I got back from Comic Con way more bombed than I am now, and I flipped out about a lot of things, and I really dish about the very candid conversation that Sean Schemmel had with me. So it was a fun year, but this year in terms of layout is fucking worlds better than it was last year. Brian worked at a table in the dunk, like near where you walk downstairs to go to the fucking arena floor to get the big signatures.
Yeah.
Did you work last year too there, or?
Yeah, so what the way that they spread it out finally made the most sense because they had vendors like clusterfucked everywhere. They had them in the dunk when you're walking around the arena, vendors lined up, just piled up. And then when you go down the stairs to meet the bigger name celebrities, vendors piled up. And they still did that. They still did that this year.
Who else was on the floor this year?
It was literally the little blonde boy from Harry Potter.
Oh, Malfoy.
Yeah. Hayden Christensen and
Kiefer Sutherland was there.
Yep, I think David Harbour.
I'm not even sure if I know who that is.
He's the
detective
detective in Stranger Things. He's gonna be Hellboy.
Oh, word. All right, yeah.
He was there. That was like pretty much it. And so then they still did that, but now all the celebrities used to be in the main expo hall.
Yes, this year they
moved
the
them
celebrity
to the
signing
ballroom.
tables. They put that upstairs, and downstairs is just sales.
Yep. Downstairs was like an actual, like, Comic Con for me, because the past few years, it felt like it wasn't. You go into the expo hall.
You
it's
feel
a bunch
separated.
It's a bunch of people signing stuff. A bunch of
On
celebrities.
one side.
I like walking around, seeing the artists, the little booths, like getting the comic swag. Like that's a Comic Con for me. Not just standing in line for 2 hours to meet some, B-list celebrity, C-list celebrity.
Do you love the 70 centimeter squid window?
Talking about Super Dope.
Oh shit, this is my favorite part. This will just be for Patreon. I had to fix my computer, but I needed tunes to do it. And now we put on the song with Brian Sleeper and Mike Nolan and me. And now I'm talking through the fucking bridge. And now it sounds very dramatic. And now I know that the chorus is about to drop. Damn, damn, damn. Fuck. No, wait, not yet. Damn, damn, damn. Fuck. Can't even count right.
Oh, man.
I recorded this. I should know. This is me. I play the guitar.
There's like 11 views. 11 a use
11 to use what?
on
Oh,
guitar.
on this. Yeah, there's like up to 10 guitar tracks at certain points. And the guitar's just mad out of tune. When I get my guitar set up again, I want to do this again.
Just throw some bass down on it.
Dude, yeah. There's a bass line in here, actually, but it's
Yeah, I
just
got
on a guitar.
No, I got an acoustic
I have a
electric.
DI over here, dude.
I got an acoustic electric bass.
Wow,
Ibanez.
wow.
Yeah.
I fuck with Ibanez too.
Yeah.
That's my acoustic guitar of choice. I touch my pants. I touch my pants.
That's
I touch my pants. Pants. Pants.
Yeah.
So now if you go back and listen to the convention, the RIT convention episode from last year,
Yeah.
you will have the direct correlation as to why I just sang all of the words to the song that way. I touch my pants. I have a chance.
I'll have to,
There's like a few different ways that I
have to
did it.
find that.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
You meet any cool celebrities this year? Yeah.
All right, so yes and no. Basically, I mean, we talked to Monica. All right, she was great. Monica
lovely.
Rial was fucking amazing to us. She talked to me for
Super nice woman.
5-10 minutes on Friday. I stopped by and talked to her again today. She apologized for not being able to go to the panel and that she got pulled away from photo ops at 7. I was
Lovely
like, all right, cool. You didn't even have to make that up if that's what you did. I love you.
Right.
I went back and talked to her today. It's basically like, hey, like, could we talk about maybe doing an interview at some point? And she was very receptive. So,
Nice.
we'll see how that goes. Other than her, though, it's kind of like slumming it most of the weekend. Going to Nashville in a few days, so can't really be fucking around with money. So,
But you met a lot of people. But you just go and you go, hey, I love you.
I mean,
And then they go, hey, what's up?
I didn't yell at too many people. So Brian walked with me.
I walked around with him for like a half hour, and it was like the best half hour of fucking Comic Con. These double-fisted drinks, buying Bam Margera drinks,
So I
telling
big
people he
ahead.
loves them.
Friday and Saturday I was very responsible. Today I did not have to drive, so I
The beast.
indulged in
it
some
up.
libations per se.
Oh man.
Per se. And yeah, well, I was buying one. Bam Margera and his red velvety outfit was to my right. I bought him a fucking beverage. No big deal. I didn't yell at that many people. Did I?
It was a few.
Who else?
Get a bigger head.
No, the big head was my favorite. And
What
that
does
was
that mean?
that was the first and I think last one that you yelled.
I wasn't even there.
Explain the story. Explain the story.
Okay, so I'm walking up to go to where the celebrities are. I need to meet Kevin Conroy. That's Batman. I need to go meet
I
Batman.
love you, Batman.
So that was my only thing I had planned for the day. And I start walking up, and I see Kyle. And we're like, let's go walk. Yeah. He's already been drinking. So we see this Belle and a Beast. And the Belle looks like perfect.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Had her hair done, curled, the yellow dress. Picture perfect. Then we see the Beast. And you start looking at him, and he looks perfect.
He looks great.
Looks perfect. Big bodied, all that. But then you look at his head. And
I don't think it was like half the size too small.
it reminded me of like Beetlejuice. When they had like the little shrunken tiny heads on the big body. That's what it reminded me of. So people are like, oh, can we get a picture? And Kyle we just walk right behind him and he goes, get a bigger head, dude. And I just lost it. And from that moment on, every time we saw Beast, it was, yeah, but what about a bigger head?
Get a bigger head.
Hey, dude, get a bigger head. Bigger head, dude. Hey,
Bigger
I
head.
got an idea.
Just get a
You should
bigger
get a big
head,
head.
dude.
And then she's like, oh, he probably can't hear me because of that big head. And I was like, it's not that big. Oh, man.
So, I mean, outside of the Beast,
Yeah.
the only celebrity I paid to meet this week. So I talked to Brian O'Halloran from Clerks, Dante Hicks. I met him last year. He wasn't a dick. I was wasted when I met him last year. This year, press, mostly responsible. I talked to him on Friday. He's got a podcast thing going on, so I talked to him a little bit about that. He's a super nice dude. I didn't pay to meet him. I walked up to him and I led with, I would get something from you, but I've already got your signature on my wall at home. Right here. It's covered up by an Ultra Instinct Goku fucking picture.
Oh yeah, I was there for that. Speechless once again.
Right. So I talked to him for a couple minutes. He was super, super nice. I didn't pay to meet him. The only celebrity I paid to meet, we paid to get Monica to sign a couple Funko Pops. One we gave away on Friday. And you're going to hear the sound in just a little bit for the panel we did on Friday night at Rhode Island Comic Con. We give away an autographed Funko Pop. Who, by the way, I ran into Alessandro today.
Oh, man.
Yeah, him and his parents.
He told him to buy nunchucks. He was like, hey, guys. He's looking at some stuff. He was like, oh, yeah, get some nunchucks. He's like, you can take them foam pieces off and just fuck shit up. And his parents are like, no. He goes, all right. So he literally starts trying to take the foam things off.
The worst.
Meanwhile, let me paint you the picture at this point. Double fisting at this point with what you have, a whiskey and like an angry orchard.
You're like that kid's idol.
The kid's like, oh, all right. His parents like, no, don't do that.
You would not buy nunchucks.
He was just like, yeah, fuck shit up.
We felt like it was such a good idea at the time. Like, oh yeah, give the pop to the kid. It's such a nice thing to
He
do.
was all about it.
I feel like we corrupted Alessandro.
That
Right?
kid,
Now he's listening to the show.
Yo,
It's just,
I-
he shouldn't do.
I did give him a card, and I gave
you
it to his parents. They're probably listening to this right now. I was like, hey man, like just so you were aware, like it was cool you came by Friday. Congratulations on winning. The sound from the episode, like you sounded good. I listened to the sound when we got home. The sound was a little dude. All right, real quick. I don't know. My only real complaint about Comic Con this year, and it was because we did a panel. They told us that
Oh, jeez, yeah.
this was my complaint. They told us that they weren't going to supply us anything in terms of sound systems, tables, anything. So like, I spent most of the day on Friday morning, like getting my shit together. We went and bought some tables. We went and made sure we got a dolly to like haul our shit from Providence Place to the convention center. Like, I got my act together. And we got in there pretty early in the afternoon, and there was a panel before us from a local podcast, movie Guys Night. I think that's what it's called. They fucking watch movies and break them down real nerdy and shit. They're like us, except not with Dragon Ball specificity.
It's just from movies.
Yeah, they talk about a lot about like horror movies, sci-fi movies, like all genres of movies.
That's cool.
So Mike. Was it you? Somebody said to me, like, hey, they're doing a panel before us. Why don't you go ask them what's the deal? So I did. I was like, hey, that sound stuff, is that yours? They're like, no, man, that's theirs. It's going to be there all day for you to use. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, we were just about to
Nobody
go back
tells
to the
you
car.
anything. Like, you think the staff would tell you, hey.
Well, I asked them, I'm like, just to be sure, like, I don't want to have any redundancy. Like, you have a you have a sound. We can't. I think they said it because they don't want to like guarantee it. You know what I mean? Like, should something have fallen out last minute and they couldn't like
you should
absolutely
bring your
guarantee
own mics and stuff
just in case.
Yeah.
Basically, it's them covering their own asses. So I get it, but like, had I known what to expect, I wouldn't have stressed so badly about getting my own shit there.
There were so many panels that there was really going to be a problem. I didn't see like a huge list like when I looked. You know, like, so I figured like there was enough that they could have got things figured out.
Well, either way, my point is we had a sound system already set up for us, so when I go to plug into the board, I was kind of annoyed because I figured I'd be able to figure it out from like a sound tech perspective, like the out from the stereo to whatever into my Zoom to be able to grab the stereo tracks. Didn't work for whatever reason. But Martinelli was there, and I'm like, well, if I don't got it, Martinelli definitely got it. And then he looked at it. He's like, nah.
One look at it.
Like, we both didn't know. And so we couldn't get it to work. So the microphone that we use actually picks up things pretty well. Your voice, Sleeper, is like the most clearly enunciated thing on it because you were the closest to the area mic. But it picks up most of them. Like, you can get a little drowned out sometimes. But it's not bad.
Yeah,
Alessandro hops up.
Yeah, I was sitting in front row. So.
Yeah, Alessandro hops up, and we can hear him okay. And his fucking theory on...
I don't even know what it is. I can't even remember what it was.
Basically his idea was... You know what? I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. Let's not spoil it. You'll hear the sound for the word. I personally liked it. Brandon loved it because it involved Hit. And I love Hit. Hit's one of the fucking best characters coming to Dragon Ball in a very, very long time. I don't know, man. Overall, I feel like it was...
looks kind of like a penis.
His head does look a little bit like a penis.
I mean, I just didn't realize.
I wish we had the poster here right now.
What, it was a penis poster?
Nah, we had a banner. We gave it to... Fuck, dude, who to go to? Leo! Leopoldo Duarte. Is he a patron? Nope. I don't think that he is. He's not. He's on our Discord server, though. That's some VIP shit. You're not even a fucking patron. You're on the VIP patron server, Leo. And he's got my goddamn banner in his house.
Anyway, who did you pay to meet? Because you didn't even go over that.
Oh my god, I forgot all about it. Good call, Sleeps.
I know who you paid to meet.
So...
I agree with it. I thought it was a good one.
I had the wildest day because of this person that I paid to meet. So a lot of people thought it would be like Kate Flannery or Creed Bratton from The Office because I've watched The Office like 15 fucking times.
Same.
But no, the one person I paid to meet today is somebody that I've been watching in media since I was probably 5 years old. First as Nona F. Mecklenburg, then as Harriet M. Welsh, then as Dawn Summers. I paid to meet Michelle Trachtenberg today. I
can't help but laugh. It's like, I get it, but it's just funny.
You showered, you put on your cologne.
I was just trying to not smell like a bag of shit, okay? That was my goal.
A lot of people there smell like a bag of shit.
Yes, I do.
Hot shit.
So I wanted to be able to give her a nice fucking stark contrast to the shit bag smell. So I
We don't all smell like shit.
Yeah, right.
In Rhode Island.
Well, just most of it. She was the only person I paid to meet this weekend. And I don't know. I was fine with it. I mean, in theory anyway, because I've been a fan of hers for so long.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it was her first con appearance. Pretty much ever.
Yeah, I haven't seen her on any.
I don't think she knew what she was getting herself into. And going to meet her on day 3, I feel like maybe... I don't think she was there Friday, so... After all day Saturday, super busy day on Saturday. And again, props to fucking Rhode Island Comic Con for having a great flow to the con this year and not having any crazy incidents like they've had. Not like
Making
super
that
consistently.
Skybridge two-way was the huge club.
Yeah, no, the Skyway, the Skybridge two-way thing, I think they did that last year as well. But I remember the year they didn't do that, and that sucked, man.
Because of fire marshal, they couldn't. It was awful.
Yeah, that was rough stuff. But like, I feel like, I mean, they also run other cons, like. They do one, I think, in Denver. They do one in Ohio, maybe one in New York. Same company. So, like, I think over the last 5, 6, 7 years, not only have they done Rhode Island, but they've done a ton of other cons. Yeah. So they've just gotten a ton of good practical experience. The flow to the con this year was great, but I met Michelle Trachtenberg, and I don't know, man.
Did you geek out?
I had to wait in line for like an hour because when I got in line, there was one person in front of me and she was out to lunch and she was supposed to come back within 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. She'll be back. She didn't come back until like 1:35, say. So I waited and there was the line backed up and there was this girl. Shout out to my friend Allie. Rhode Island's a weird place, man. I met this girl in line for Michelle Trachtenberg. And she's like, yeah, like, I don't know. We got to talking about, like, smoking cigarettes, and we both needed to smoke a cigarette, and whatever. She fucking loved she loved Dawn because of blah, blah, blah. And we got to talking, and we have, like, 10 fucking, because, you know, Facebook. We have, like, 10 mutual friends on Facebook. Yeah. She's like, oh, I know this person, you know that person? Wow. So, like, we became fast friends and hung out for, like, an hour and a half. Both in line and then afterwards. So I asked her to take the picture of me and Michelle. And when I got off to where I was like, oh my God, Nona F. Mecklenburg. And she looks at me, she's like, oh my God, fuck you. I was like, also, I love Harriet the Spy. Also, when you came in, Buffy, in the 5th season and everyone hated you, I didn't hate you, I loved you. She's like, all right, thanks.
Thanks, you fucking creep.
Thanks.
I didn't even think that was that bad. I thought I was being appreciative of her career and major roles.
Yeah, but she's traumatized by day 3.
Yeah.
Dealing with fucking thousands
Stalkers
of fucking...
I don't even feel like I'm that bad. Well, I watched the things that she's been in over her career. God fucking forbid.
You were calling her by her character names and stuff. That's
Nona F. Mecklenburg, yeah. And then Harriet M. Well, yeah. All right, so I did. Big deal.
I mean, I think you went like, you didn't go too far over the line. No. You were balanced on that shit. You were like,
but it was too
on the creepy side. You're like, am I creepy?
Sorry, I looked at IMDb, but like I didn't have to because I already knew the things because I've been a fan of her since I was a kid.
I think that's fine.
It's weird too because she is not that much older than I am. She's like 4 or 5 years older than I am.
You know what's also weird? I've always thought about her is she's like recently, not like when she was like a little kid, but like when she got older, she's like weird kind of attractive. Like you look at her and you're like,
no, I thought she was always regular attractive.
See, I don't know. For me, it's like I don't know something about her. She was
all right.
You know what I mean? It's not like
ready.
You're like, oh, she's hot. She's kind of like
no, she's a beautiful woman. I love her. But
you're you know.
But
you're biased a little, I think.
I'm not, because I'm about to talk to you about something that's always greatly bothered me. And Michelle, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but it needs to be fucking said.
Yeah, Michelle's fucking listening, man.
Did she don't know?
Did you give her a card?
She knows.
You at least get her a
She don't know. Anyway.
You should have gave her a card.
Jesus at least knows Amber's name somewhere in the back of his head.
All right. So, I knew her on Pete and Pete, then Harriet the Spy, then Buffy. Pete and Pete's one of my favorite shows ever. We're going to do a fucking Patreon show. Only Pete and Pete. It's going to be one of the things that lives behind the paywall. So, yeah. Archie! The strongest man in the world. So, season 5 of Buffy. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
End of season 5 of Buffy. Dawn's the key. She's got to bleed out, open the portal so Glorificus can go back to her fucking hell fucking dimension or whatever. Mm-hmm. So she's up on this massively big tower, right? And she's in this bitch. Motherfucker, just let me finish. I'll get to it at a point in a minute.
Glorificus.
Yeah.
Most people just call her Glory, but yeah, Glorificus is like her god name. So, Dawn has to bleed to open this portal, right? So she's like up on the top of this tower in this ceremonial dress. So Michelle Trachtenberg is in this dress and she's barefoot. And there is this one really weird shot. I think it's the season finale of season 5. But like, it's almost like from her point of view, but like maybe just over her shoulder and down, and you see her feet and like her toes.
You're really into that, aren't you?
No, no, it makes me feel ill.
Did she have hobbit feet?
No, no, they're like long, like finger toes, and I was like, what?
That's even
the most perfect lady in the world's got long finger toes.
Wow,
my point is, nothing is ever 100% perfect. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just never knew how to feel about it.
Terrible fucking person.
I was like, am I attracted to this girl? Am I not attracted to this girl?
What, to Nona F. Mecklenburg? I mean, she was a
not
child.
Her, maybe like, I thought she looked good in Eurotrip.
Yeah, I think...
Did she show her boobs in that movie?
No. I was hoping. You should know this if you're a huge Michelle Trachtenberg.
I never watched Eurotrip. I never.
You seen Eurotrip?
Nah.
As a Michelle Trachtenberg fan, you should watch that movie because it's a pretty good movie in general.
I don't know if I'm so much like honestly. I thought about this today. Like, am I a fan of her or am I a fan of things that she's been in and I know her by proxy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Like, the reason I like fucking Pete and Pete is like Danny Tamborelli and Mike Marone's fucking portrayal. Fucking already the strongest man in the world is one of the most interesting characters in TV to me. But and then Buffy. I liked Buffy before she came in as a character. I would have watched Buffy if she'd never come in as a character.
Harry the Spy, though.
Harry the Spy was like my age, I think, because I was like 6 or 7 when it came out. Rosie O'Donnell. I actually, dude, true story. When Harry the Spy came out in theaters, they had a contest on Nickelodeon where you like call into some hotline or whatever, and you could win a Harry the Spy kit. And I won it. So it's basically the only thing that I've ever won in my life. I had like a fucking magnifying glass and like a notebook or some shit. It was like clear plastic, so that way your parents know you're not hiding shit in there. Like drugs and guns.
Yeah, you should tell that.
I was overwhelmed. I thought she hated me.
She would have been like, that's
Probably
so
did.
cool.
Could you tell her a cool story like that?
She would have remembered that story if you told her that.
She thinks you're a loser. Like, you gotta tell her you won something.
You gotta send her an email now, or Twitter. Or something.
Hey, baby. Remember Rosie O'Donnell? She was on a movie with you once.
She gave me this.
I want a thing from the movie.
I don't think
Remember when Rosie O'Donnell had her own talk show?
Yeah, man, that's like all I know about Rosie O'Donnell. What the fuck else did she do?
I know
League
her
of
from
Her
a League
Own,
of Their Own.
Flintstones.
That's probably like,
There they go.
yeah.
She was Betty in the Flintstones, right?
Sure, not Wilma.
She was not one.
Also,
She's not one material.
a forgettable movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Flintstones movies are pretty terrible. Dragon Ball Super Dope.
Anyway, back to Comic Con.
That album was not there.
Yeah.
I love you, Michelle Trachtenberg. I love you so much.
So then we got
I don't know. The con in itself was
I
a
met
pretty good.
Batman.
I think it was a pretty good weekend. I had a blast.
I met Batman.
Totally.
You met Kevin Conroy.
I got an Ocarina.
I met Jesus. He told me.
Mike and Amber met Jesus from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I met Monica. We met Monica. She was the fucking best.
I saw Buddy Christ walking around.
There was a Buddy Christ cosplay? Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Pose, the fucking-
Yeah, oh yeah, everything.
I love Rhode Island Comic Con, and I've said it to. I think I said it to you earlier. What's cool about Rhode Island Comic Con is that the thing I love about Rhode Island Comic Con is that it's in the Northeast. You got immediate access, obviously the whole state of Rhode Island, duh. But you also have immediate access from Boston, Hartford, Philly, New York,
Yeah.
parts of Jersey.
Like all New England.
It's
It's
a
a
big.
melting
It's
pot,
a.
yeah.
It's not the size of Boston Comic Con, but it's got like I think it's an easier con to access because it doesn't have that high profile name of Boston attached to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, New York.
Or New York or whatever. It's like it's kind of underrated. I think this
yeah.
con's one of the fucking best cons, man.
I was working at the booth and a girl walked by and I heard her say to her father like the quote of like the weekend for me, and she literally said, she's like she came in the door, was like walking around, she's like had the biggest smile on her face and said, "Dad," she's like, "this is the only place that I can be myself."
Aww.
And I was like, and she's like, without getting made fun of. And I was like, that's what Comic Con's about. Like, you know what I mean? Just being
Community.
able to be you, be nerdy, let your nerd flag fly.
Fucking
you
feel
know?
comfortable.
And not because no one's judging you. You know, no one's judging you. If your cosplay doesn't look as good, that's fine. You still did it. It's still good for you.
Exactly.
You know?
You
Like,
tried.
no
You're
one cares.
fucking
Everyone's having a good
expressing
time.
your love.
Yeah, everyone's having a good time. Now, you might not want to go pay $100 to go meet fucking whiny Anakin Skywalker, but someone wants to, so that's good. Let them go do it. You know, like
I saw a dude walking around with like a 5 foot long. You saw it too.
Yeah.
The sword?
fucking-
No, it wasn't a sword. It
a
was like
spaceship.
it was a spaceship from
Oh,
episode
yeah.
1. It was like a
Yeah.
Naboo fighter, like
oh,
that yellow
all
shell.
the stuff was signed.
Exactly.
Like,
And he
the
had
whole,
like,
like,
fucking maybe
ton
20
of
different
signatures.
signatures.
that
on
was
it.
awesome. That was cool.
That was probably the last one he needed. Was fucking
Probably
because
because he never showed up. Yeah.
Right?
Oh my god, he had like protective padding on the
Oh,
bottom of it so he
yeah,
could
I
rest it on the
remember.
ground and shit. It was crazy.
It looked sick. It was a Naboo Starfighter. It was a huge one too.
It looked like
He's carrying it with 2 hands. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was huge.
that was
it
a
might
big
have been
damage
a movie
ammo.
prop
like
or something.
4
I don't know if it was a
Wow.
movie prop. You know what I think it was?
Oh,
And
like
I
a
could be
model
wrong,
or
but
something?
I think it was a model that they hung in
Yeah.
like Toys R Us in front of like the fucking Star Wars aisle or
Probably
some
like a
shit.
display.
Yeah,
display
yeah,
model,
but like
yeah.
one that hung from the ceiling is what it looked like.
It looked really cool.
I loved it. I don't even like episode 1, but knowing that dude has that and he's walking around
One of
collecting
the-
signatures on it made my day.
One of the coolest cosplays I saw too was this guy had little Power Wheels. It was a Power Wheels Jurassic Park Jeep,
Nice.
and he had his 2 kids in it were dressed as dinos, and he was dressed as Grant. And he had a little Bluetooth speaker that was playing the theme, and he's just riding around with a little Jeep and the dinos. He's just dressed as Grant, and I was like, "That's awesome!" Like,
Right.
bringing his kids, he's pushing his kids in like a Power Wheels Jeep. That was a Jurassic Park Jeep.
So this year, I thought we'd be able to hand out a ton of Dragon Ball flyers because the last few years, man, Dragon Ball has been one of the fucking top deals that I've seen at the con.
Right now.
This year, for every Goku I saw 3 fucking All Mights from My Hero Academia.
Seriously.
Holy shit.
So I didn't even know what My Hero Academia was until like a month ago, probably.
You need to watch it.
I watched episode 1 and 2. I think it was 1 and 2. I think it was last night. So I'm gonna get on it.
If you get through like the
I'm gonna
first,
get on it. Yeah, I'm gonna get on it.
You get through the
I was
first 10
we were busy
episodes.
with Comic Con and everything else, so
Word,
like, I'm
it's a
gonna
busy
go
weekend.
binge it.
But
Yeah.
the first 10 episodes, right? You will see the beginning of Deku. You'll understand All Might. You'll understand what the whole premise of the thing is, and you're boom in school
But
in
I've
the fucking throes of the
seen
arts.
So many. I saw so many, and I was just like, before I was like, I don't know these people, and now I'm like, oh, that's My Hero Academia. Oh, that's My Hero Academia too.
Or the Might.
Oh, that's it too. I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't even know that all those characters I kept seeing was My Hero. So it's crazy.
It's
yeah.
so goddamn good. But that's just in the upswing. So next year, I think, because me and Carlton have been doing the My Hero shit since the beginning of September.
Yeah.
And we got plans, but basically next year, I think he'll be in a position to be able to apply for his own press passes for My Hero. We'll hopefully, maybe we'll do a My Hero panel next year. And we'll obviously do Super Dope. Super Dope's my fucking baby, but we'll do My Hero on top of it, and it'll be better than the My Hero panel we had this year. I felt so uncomfortable watching that. I walked out 3 different times. It was bad. You missed it, dude. It was. I can't even begin to
I saw
explain.
people in the hallway, and like, I don't know the catchphrases and stuff, but there's some you do.
No,
some
catchphrase.
Go with something ultra or something, or go
Plus Ultra.
Beyond or something.
Go Beyond Plus Ultra.
Yeah, so they're like all in the hallways of Comic Con. They're like posing and doing all these things, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Honestly, of all,
so many of them.
I mean, all my aside,
crazy.
just My Hero cosplays this weekend. I saw them more than anything.
I think
else.
I did too. Like I said before, I wouldn't know what it is. Usually, if I see a cosplay at something, I assume it's League of Legends because they have so many fucking characters.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, it must be League. But this time I was like, oh, that's All Might. I know that. That's All Might. That's All Might. That's Dick. I knew the characters.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't really watched the show yet, but I still could recognize them. So
I saw a lot of Yue Kokude jumpsuits. Like
You know how many Vegetas I saw?
I saw a few Vegetas.
Like 2.
Yep.
How many Gokus I saw? Like 80.
It's because Vegeta's way
So
harder to
hard.
get badass. I did see a few Batman shirts over the weekend. I wore my
drives me
Batman
nuts.
shirt on Friday.
It drives me nuts.
Martinelli wore his Batman shirt Friday. I saw another Batman shirt today. I walked up to the dude. I was like, "Hey, you wearing a pink shirt? Let me see the back of that." I was like, "Oh, it says Batman. Okay, here you go. We're doing an event tomorrow night. Come hang out."
You're cool. If it didn't say Batman.
All right, cool. You're in the club,
Yeah.
Tony Danza needs to eat a cheeseburger.
dude. Tony Danza's so
Turn-
effing thin.
I
didn't
watched
expect him
that
to be
show
that thin.
on the new show that he has, The Good Cop or some shit, on Netflix. I watched it. It's not bad. Not bad.
What's his character's name in Taxi? Not Bobby. Tony. No, it's Tony. It's not Danza.
I think
it's
every show he's in, his
Banza,
name is fucking Tony.
Banza. Tony Banza. Tony Banza's his name on Taxi. Like literally, like 2 letters away from his real name.
His name in the Good Cop show is Tony. His character's name.
He
I
just
get
looks like
confused if you haven't.
Yeah,
he just looks like a Tony.
Because they're talking to him, and they're like, "Hey, Tony." He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" But mention the other name, he won't respond.
Call him
What?
Danza.
What?
I don't know, man. I figured Tony Banza as like a boxer.
I wonder
fucking
how many
character in
times
Taxi.
he got like this weekend, like "Hold me closer, Tony Danza." Like
was-
people just like yelling, singing it to him.
I was standing in
Like
line.
I knew you'd be the one that would do it too. Like
I was standing in line, and there was a mom,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 people behind me in line with their little boy. He couldn't have been older than 5 years old, and she pointed him out, and she's like, "Hey, know how I sing that song sometimes that goes, hold me closer, don't want to dance, and I fucking lost it,
I'm telling you, man, you must hear that.
It was so funny. Because, like, the kid was like, oh, yeah, that's him.
It was funny because Kevin Conroy comes out, and he was like, because I was waiting for him to get back, and we had, like, a line going. He knows what people want. He jumps up on the fucking table.
What?
I'm not even kidding. I took a picture of him on the table. He jumps up on the fucking table, and he's like, I'm back. And he starts doing the Batman voice. And he's like, the night is approaching. And he's like, and I am Batman. And he's just like, yeah. And everybody just goes ape shit. Like, it was like, and we're just like, shit. I was like, he's the fucking man. He's jumped on a fucking table. Like, doesn't even care.
Didn't even give a shit.
And dude's like older. I mean, he's not young, but he's like jumped up on the fucking table and starts doing the Batman voice. I was like, I love this dude.
Real, man.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I forgot to tell you that. I was cracking up.
What a good fucking Rhode Island Comic Con weekend.
It was a good one. Yeah, it was a good one.
7th? Is this the 7th year? I think it's the 7th year.
It's probably top 2 for me. Yeah.
This is the 7th year they've had Rhode Island Comic Con, right?
Yeah, I've been every year.
I've been every year except the second year where they oversold. I was not there that year.
Yes.
I heard that was a bad year. Yeah, I had a lot of friends who were upset, but they have done everything plus Ultra to recover since then. This year was so well laid out.
I still just wish they would get a little bit more artists and writers in there.
That's where I get weak, man. Walking the con floor,
man,
I'm like, wow, look at this person's art style. This is fucking beautiful. And then I'm like, yo, you got some Vegetas?
And you got Vegetas?
Boom, $100 later, I'm fucking walking away.
Shit, you got any cool Vegetas?
Magic artist or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, like, so I went to Gen Con. I met Chris Rush at Gen Con before he passed away.
I don't know what that is.
Chris Rush was one of the original artists on Magic the Gathering. So he came up with the logo, the mana symbols, all that stuff. He drew like lightning bolt, like iconic cards. He was Chris Rush. He was one of the major artists, and I met him and a couple other artists at like conventions, and they do that. And like, I think like Jim Lee was at like New York. And, like,
dude, I fucking met
Boston,
Jim Lee.
But like all these things, and it's like, and you go look at Rhode Island, and it's like, where are they? You know, you got like. You got that dude that did Marvel Zombies, he's kind of a prick.
Is he?
Yeah. I tried to meet him a couple years ago. My buddy was like, he was in the hospital, couldn't go to Comic Con. He had his daughter, he just had a newborn daughter. His daughter had eye surgery, right? Yeah. He loved this guy. He loved Marvel Zombies and everything. So I have his book, right? And he was like, can you please get him to sign my book and make it out to me? And I was like, yeah, man. I figured I'd pay like $20 or whatever, you know. I go to talk to him.
Fees are always more than you expect.
He's like, $50 to sign it. I was like, man, it's not even for me. It's for my buddy. His daughter's in the hospital. He's like, well, you can buy a print and I'll sign it for free. And his prints were like $60 for like little pieces of crap. I was like, dude, man. I was like, literally, my best friend was gonna come here for you. His daughter had emergency eye surgery. He can't make it. Like, I'll throw you some money, but like, I can't throw you $50-$60. Like. And he was just such a prick about it. He was like, move along or something. I was like, wow, yeah.
Even if he was like, sorry, man, I got my fucking, what I got to do. Like, I get that.
Yeah,
like, everyone's got to make
like,
a buck. I understand
but like,
that. But
on, man,
to be that kind of cold and non-receptive,
you know, and
shitty.
I've met people, like, I've met a lot of people. So, like, and like, I've actually found that voice actors are like some of the coolest people.
Yeah,
in general,
they're not like known from like a fucking like you don't see them in public and like chase them down unless you are a con crowd kind of person.
You know, yeah, like if you go up to them and recognize them, they're
if
like.
If I walk by Chris Sabat on the street in fucking Providence, I'd probably be one of the only people on the street who'd fucking recognize him by sight.
Exactly. So they're like really appreciative, and like some of them go out of their way to like a lot of them don't even like to charge you either. You know, they won't like. I met, like you said, Chris didn't charge you probably for the pop you got signed.
So that
right?
No, I think I paid. So I met.
You said you were in line with Sean. He was going to sign that too.
Yeah, and Schemmel said, "Hey, Sabbath, he's got a podcast called Super Dope. How funny is that?"
Because you remember you telling the story.
He handed it to Sabbath. I think I gave Sabbath's. He had like a lady assistant. I think I paid.
All right.
But I didn't have to wait in this fucking
either way though. Well, I meant like I went to go meet Rob Paulson and talk to him. He's awesome. He's got that podcast talking to him and everything. He knew it was late in the day. They were packing up. I told him I really loved Ninja Turtles, loved everything. He signed a thing for me, no problem. Didn't even charge me.
He's
like,
cool
like, put your money away. Cool as hell. Yeah. Yep. same thing. Like I have a lot of good experiences like that with the voice actors, but not so many with
Actual actors.
actual actors. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
I think either way, we're chalking Rhode Island Comic Con up to be a success this year. For Super Dope personally, maybe next year we'll do a My Hero panel as well, and that'll be double fun. But we got to figure our shit to sell, I think.
Who would you want to see as voice actors besides, like, from Dragon Ball, besides Chris and Sean, that you would want to see?
I mean, the guy who does Mr. Satan, the guy who does Majin Buu, those two guys are fucking hilarious. And whenever they're at cons together.
That is Kron's pretty good too.
Oh, Sonny Strait. Yeah, Sonny Strait's one of the best, dude. He's also fucking President Mike in My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay. So maybe him?
He's Bardock, too. He's doing Bardock in the Super movie as well.
So he'd probably be high up on the list if you'd want to see him.
Oh, I'd love to see Sonny Strait. Yeah, Sonny Strait's great. He also does like comic book artist work too.
Do you think more of them go to Anime Boston? I haven't even checked out Anime Boston, but I always wanted to.
I've never been. Mike and
should
Alicia
check
went
it out.
last year. We should go this year.
I
Yo,
think
we
it's
should do
April.
a fucking Super Dope panel there.
If you can, yeah.
That would be way easier to draw people into.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, Dragon Ball panel. Okay, cool.
Everyone fucking floods the room.
You can see probably fucking 300 Gokus and,
Fuck yeah, dude. We should try to do Anime Boston. Oh, man.
that's a good idea, right?
Might get on the internet. So
I think it's in April.
Successful panel, successful weekend. Thank you again to Rhode Island Comic Con for having us, and not only as a member of the press, but also to let us do a panel on Friday. That was very cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, next year we will hopefully be able to do another one. It was a fucking awesome experience. I loved it. I loved every minute of con weekend. Like I said, it's an underrated con. It's underappreciated because it's Rhode Island, but it's accessible from everywhere. I've met people from all over the goddamn country at this con.
They call it the biggest con in the littlest state.
Right.
So, I mean, it's true. I mean, it's a huge con. Like, they had the Dunkin' Donuts Center and the whole convention center, basically. That's big. People don't realize that. That's big. You had multiple levels of the Dunkin' Donuts Center, multiple levels of the convention center, and it even spilled into the Omni Hotel.
True.
Because they had panels rooms in the Omni, too. So you have 3 buildings.
Honestly, like
that con's in.
We parked
3
our
buildings.
car on Friday at the Providence Place Mall.
Yeah.
And between, we had to go to the car a couple of times to get like flyers and shit like that.
Yeah.
We walked back. I walked back and forth, I think, 3 different times. I walked I think I walked like 6 or 7 miles on Friday.
All right.
Like,
Wow.
it is.
It's a long
It's a big con, dude. It's huge.
If you guys haven't been, it's definitely worth checking out.
Well, that's gonna do it for this recap of Rhode Island Comic Con. Now you're gonna get to hear the Rhode Island Comic Con panel sound from Friday night. Interesting set of circumstances. You'll deal with the sound. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. That microphone that I got on the top of the Zoom actually, it's actually pretty nice. But not being able to get that board into my Zoom definitely pissed me off right away. I was very out of my element. I couldn't get my theme music to plug into the board, which also pissed me off.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
I had a very frustrating few days, but if you're in the Providence area tomorrow night, Monday, so this will be going out. I'm going to get this done for tomorrow morning, I think. So,
Tonight.
yeah.
If you're listening to it, right? Technically?
So, yeah, I mean, it's Sunday night now. This will be on Monday morning. Askew in Providence. We will be doing a live podcast after the screenings of Bardock, the Father of Goku, and Fusion Reborn at your local theaters from a local event, not local event company, but they're an event company whose name I won't mention. It's Fathom Events.
We got it. No one mentioned him.
Every time.
Me and my best friend Bobby are going to be there.
Dude, Bobby's
I
cool.
want some chicken on a stick.
Yo,
Shout out to Bobby.
dude.
I heard Freitas eating that shit, and I was like, this sounds amazing.
It's so good.
There's
We
so
were
much
talking about the
crunch.
chicken. Like, we talk
Is
about
it
that
that good?
chicken.
That's
We
the
talk
only
about that
reason I'm
chicken
going.
like, on a regular
I'm
basis.
pumped, man. I can't wait.
I'm ready.
It's so good. It's so crunchy. It's so juicy.
Only reason I'm going.
Oh my god.
Just going for the chicken?
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, I think it might just be me and you tomorrow night.
Fuck it, man. I'll eat chicken, drink beer.
I'll be there. Fuck.
You're driving. But not my car. Sleeper will be there. We can just grab Sleeper.
If you need me to, yeah, throw
I
a
don't
mic
think
on
Brandon's going. I don't think Carlton can go.
there. Throw a mic up there. I'm good shit.
Dude, you're going to be making your 4th Super Dope appearance
I'm
in 7
I'm
days.
marathoning this right now.
Welcome to the team, baby.
And it's a win it.
All right. here is the Rhode Island Comic Con sound.
Oh man.
Low budget edition.
Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Dragon Ball Super Dope is probably there.
Broadcasting from Comic Con, Providence, Rhode Island.
Comic-Con. How weird is that? Last year, I almost got kicked out of this place for spilling a whiskey and coke on Lou Ferrigno in the soup box. And this year, I'm walking around like, hey, what's up? Remember me from last year? No? Alright, good. I was really drunk. But this year, press. So, gotta be more responsible.
You were a lot more impressive this time.
Good one. So, my name's Kyle. Thank you for hanging out with us today at the panel. To my left is my brother Brandon.
What's up?
Hey, Brandon. It's
Hey.
My name is also Brandon.
Get out of here!
My name is Slim Shady.
It's a cool name.
The real Slim Shady?
Yes.
Little real Brandon, please stand up.
I can't. I have to.
Krillin's Brandon. And to the far left over there, is my
Way over
other
there.
brother, Mike, Vapid Mike Normandin.
Hey, I can vape here, right?
No, you can't.
No.
Vaping is illegal in Rhode Island.
Your Funko
Real
Pops.
smoking.
Weirdly does not have a vape.
Your Funko Pops will be confiscated.
No!
Think about that.
Honestly, the con this year, though, I don't know if you guys have come here every year. I've been every year except the second year where they had to turn people away in the rain because they
Because the
oversold.
fire marshals shut everything
Yeah, that was a mess of a year. So 1 year I didn't buy tickets. Last year, I had a great time, don't get me wrong, but in terms of layout, it was a little bit frustrating. This year, and we'll see ultimately how things play out tomorrow with the big day, but this year seems to be set up to have a really good flow and hopefully, you know, no minor casualties. I don't know what I'm trying to say except that way to go, Rhode Island Comic Con.
I'll probably be a minor casualty regardless.
Oh.
He's Krillin.
Krillin?
We got
Yeah,
Krillin and a Goku in the audience with us today.
No.
In terms of other cosplays, to the
We got some Batman.
Me and Mike both have the Batman shirts on. Mike Marnelli's here. Brian Sleeper from
I'm the Punisher. Yep.
Goddamn right. So we got a lot of Dragon Ball news to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste too much time because at a certain point in this show, we are going to be taking your suggestions, questions. Basically, the way I'm going to frame it is, so you can start to think about it now, is what do you want to see for the future of Dragon Ball Super? We got
Start
the
thinking about
Broly-
that now.
Got that Rolling movie coming out in December. So, with all that being said, we kind of have an expectation on what to expect at least in the first 2 acts of that movie, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But if the anime comes back next year, what do you want to see? If they make another movie in 2019, what do you want to see? The person with the best suggestion is going to get one of these autographed Bulma Funko Pops. And I think Mike Norm is going to take the other one home to put underneath his pillow.
I like to smell it sometimes.
He met Monica earlier
It
today.
smells like Monica.
Yeah.
He was not having
She
it.
touched this.
Keep in mind these are special Bulma Funkos. They're not just off the rack. They're signed,
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's why they're right there for them to see that.
right?
Plus, I just said it.
Could be in the guy in the back.
From Angel Monica.
So, we live in a world now where Goku's going to be afloat in the Macy's Day Parade. How you guys feel?
No.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
You gotta throw it down hardcore style.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Brandon. Show me how it's done.
In a world where Goku is going to be a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade float,
I missed you so much, Brandon.
Sounds terrifying.
what a time to be alive.
And that's literally what I wrote, huh? What a time to be alive.
1 minute.
I mean, honestly, being a Dragon Ball fan in 2018, there was nothing better. When I was a kid growing up, Sleeper, I'm not sure how old you are, man.
I'm 35.
35? All right, so 35, a little bit older. When you were growing up watching Dragon Ball, did you have the stuff that readily available to you in the way
No.
that it is today in 2018?
Hell no.
Never mind having
Not
a
even
float
getting
in
the
Macy's
VHS copies. I had to
Thanksgiving
hunt
parade.
them down like
Tell
a.
you what, I almost want to consider this the beginning of an ascent to pinnacle.
I feel like
So-
we're already well beyond that.
But the pinnacle is going to be 2020 when Goku is going to be the, kind of figurehead of the 2020 Olympics.
He is the
So
mascot
this is-
of the
this is just,
2020 Olympics.
The beginning of the ascent.
Your mic's a little low.
Oh, yeah? Oh, man.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that
Yeah.
while we're recording.
Yeah.
So, with the Broly movie coming out in Japan on 12/14, and then it'll make its way
I
over
already
to
knew that.
Did you? It'll make its way over to America on January 16th.
Oh
Some interesting news came out, I think like the last 2 days, and it's basically in regards to the manga and how they're going to be setting up the storyline going forward. So, about a year ago, Toriyama, in his old Toriyama ways, was like, hey, pretty soon, before you know it, the manga's going to be in front of the anime. It's going to be wild.
Grandpa Toriyama.
And it was like sort of a throwaway comment, not many people took into very serious consideration. We talked about it, but ultimately it kind of went away. And then 3 or 4 months later, they're like, hey guys, Dragon Ball Super is going to come to a close at the end of March. So
That was a black day. that was a black day.
it sucked, but the Toritaro manga continued on. Obviously, they have to get through the rest of the Tournament of Power. And if you're following the manga at all, the way they've restructured some of these stories, man, it's been interesting in terms of how they've been scaling down the amount of content. So we had the Tournament of Power start at around, let's say, episode 94, 95, when he goes to pick up Frieza in Hell. And then we've got, what, another 36? I mean, if you want to count the pre-tournament with episode like 78, 77, over almost half of Dragon Ball Super is all Tournament of Power.
What was it, 131, 133, something like that?
131 was the last
131.
episode, and I think the beginning episodes of the Zeno preliminary tournament are like episode 78 or some shit. So there's a lot of Tournament of Powers. Choitaro took that in and he was like, meh, it's cool. We're going to cut down the recruitment arc. That was like 15 episodes. We're not going to really show any of that outside of the Frieza stuff. We're just going to try to streamline it and eventually, obviously, try to get ahead of what the anime storyline gives us. So 2 days ago, they came out and said that on December 14th, they're going to be releasing a Broly companion manga, basically. So when you go to see the movie in Japan, you will get a free companion manga with it.
Whoa.
It's cool, and it's not like anything out of the ordinary. They did similar stuff with like Katsu no Life and Battle of Gods, but I'm a little nervous for a couple reasons. And me and Mike, we talked about this the other day. When Battle of Gods came out in 2013, we looked every GD day on YouTube to see if we could find a leak to like the better part of 6 months. Couldn't find it. When Katsu no Life came out, similar story, but it rounded out and came online a lot faster than Battle of Gods did. Now we live in a world where Dragon Ball will premiere on a Saturday night, and we will have it subbed and available on a Facebook feed within 2 hours. So, obviously the question then is spoilers, right? So animation does their fair amount of like controlled spoilers that they leak out to us anyway to get us all amped for the movie. So it's nothing like too surprising. But with the actual source material in a manga that's much more easily pirated, much more quickly. Hey, what's up, Bomo? Much more quickly. How soon can we expect to see some Broly story leaks come out after the manga's out? As opposed to waiting for us to get the leak online. So, I don't know. I'm a little kind of pissed, honestly. I think it's going to make its way over here rather quickly, and we're not going to have too much to look forward to in regards to the plot lines to this movie.
Well, you guys see it in Japanese anyway. Don't act like you're gonna.
I mean,
I'll totally watch it
We're
Japanese.
going to be able to find a way to watch it in Japanese. I think
I can't wait.
I think we might have to pull like a Star Wars and kind of do a blackout for a couple days.
I don't think we're going to have that option, to be honest. I mean, we run a effing Dragon Ball podcast, man. You think I'm going to avoid the internet for 6 months?
I mean, it's voluntary. I didn't say you have to,
I
but
wouldn't be able to.
No.
It's just, it's probably impossible.
and they're already giving good teasers. We see 2 trailers already, right? We've been seeing bios on all of these new characters, right?
Seen a ton.
We've been even seeing baby versions of all the main characters.
A lot of updated character sheets. So this very much is going to be a fan service driven movie. We are going to have everyone and their mother make at least a 10-second appearance. Even as of the last 2 weeks, Raditz, baby Raditz. And we're going to see some Nappa with hair. Nappa with hair is not like something we haven't seen before. You see it in that Bardock special real quick, but
That is going to be an amazing.
it's always cool to see
pop.
more Nappa with hair. I feel like, I don't know what the story is of Nappa losing his hair. Only Toriyama knows it.
Gained experience.
I feel like he probably just like shaved it. Like it's really no story at all, but Toriyama's building it up to be like it's a big ass story and it's really not. So we know that there's going to be 1,000,000,001 characters within this film within a month. So
Did we ever figure out what the sweatsuits are for?
Yeah, it's fucking cold, man. They're up like in the middle of the 900.
There's snow and ice.
Let me rephrase
For
that. What the lettering on the snowsuits stand for?
Smoke a blood.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, it's saying
Maybe super blue.
saying ass brigade.
There you go.
That fits the SAB, right? I got nothing better. If you got something better, chime in.
Sell all beach balls.
Sell all beach balls. So we don't know what the SAB stands for. I imagine we'll get a better idea once we see the movie. But that first trailer really focuses around current day Broly and what his beginning, at least the beginning of his interactions look like with Goku and Vegeta. And then we get that second, which entirely takes place in the past. So there's been a ton of changes to the Dragon Ball continuity just with one movie trailer. And the majority of it revolves around the origin story of Goku and the destruction of Planet Vegeta. Anybody here ever read Dragon Ball Minus before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They had it in the beginning, actually incorporated into the movie. I was like,
I'm kind of not a fan, man. And like as fans in general go, the majority of them are like, Dragon Ball Minus really did some bullshit to Bardock, primarily Bardock. And we'll talk about the ramifications on Goku, but Bardock went and we just watched the Bardock special not too long ago.
Yeah.
He's a pretty bad dude.
he did some justice.
He doesn't take any shit from anybody.
Especially the special against Chill. That was pretty cool.
For sure. Oh yeah, to have that second one, that what the heck was that one called?
With Chill, it was a special.
It was like a special episode of Bardock or something.
For the fix.
Yeah.
I think they're
We just
working-
wanted to see him go Super Saiyan. That's basically what it was.
I think they're working really heavy to make this canon and like get the most fan satisfaction out of it.
I mean, and I think that they will, but I think at the end of the day, you're gonna have some pissed off fans either
Oh.
way.
Yeah, you're gonna have some Force Awakens, Last Jedi, retribution.
I don't know if it'll be that bad.
I don't think it'll be that bad, but there's going to be a pushback. I mean, you just
There
said
already
yourself,
has been.
yeah.
There already has been, and the main pushback revolves around the idea of how apart in age Goku and Vegeta are. So typically, I think I want to say they're 5 to 7 years apart,
Yeah.
given everything we've learned about them throughout the series.
With Vegeta being older.
But now, even in this preview, even Dragon Ball Minus, Goku's a 3-year-old child when he's leaving Planet Vegeta, fully cognizant of who his parents are. Dude owns a set of Saiyan armor and is about to get deployed to a planet to go fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, doesn't that change a little bit of the idea of Grandpa Gohan finding him on Earth and he's like, poor defenseless baby. Never mind, it's a wild, armored toddler who I probably wouldn't be able, realistically, if we're talking about the same genealogy, and I realized that wasn't something that was really thought of back when Grandpa Gohan was a character in the beginning, but
And I thought
a
Raditz.
3-year-old Goku kicks Grandpa Gohan's ass. That's my point.
I thought Raditz was older too.
He is. He's older than...
But I mean, like originally,
you
like
mean
he was older.
older than Vegeta?
Yeah, like wasn't he like a teenager or like?
I think Raditz, Nappa is obviously like the
Oldest,
head of
yeah.
the 3 of them, and so Vegeta's old enough to be like, yo, I'm that powerful and I'm a prince, so you're not in charge anymore and you hear stupid shit.
Bring some purple rain down on his ass.
So, with that being said, with all the build up to Broly, little kid Broly, the retooling of the backstory to have his dad be not just some random Saiyan, but like the right-hand man of King Vegeta, the military personnel guy. Why are you guys going to this level of harassment to get Broly involved? And such like a core level to our characters and what their origins look like. Why would you bother going through the trouble of retooling all that? Anybody have any suggestions as to why?
Try to make everything as canon as possible.
I think that's totally a part of it. Yeah, they want everything to be canon. They want everything to be canon unless it's Dragon Ball Heroes related, in which case it's fan service, the video game / 8-minute anime.
Fans love Broly too.
Fans love Broly, but I think they're really making a push to keep Broly around for the long term.
I think it also buys him some time.
Yep.
Because if they do what the one benefit is that they already told us it's going to be canon. But if they pull what they pulled for the beginning of Super, we're going to have how many? Yeah, we're going to have how many episodes dedicated to rehashing the movie, as we did with Battle of the Gods, Resurrection Frieza.
So that's the other interesting thing is that as a
Right?
when the manga chapter comes out,
Do you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, go for it.
For just a quick thing, I was thinking about this too, and many people have done this too. When Andrew 17 wished for the University of Race to come back, and they were returning to power.
The other 4.
You think the other 4 are gonna come back as well?
God, I hope so.
Yeah, right.
I really, really
right?
So
That would be sick.
that's been my biggest gripe with Dragon Ball since the Tournament of Power started. I was like, all right, they're gonna fast track the ability to build out a world, not only within Universe 7, but 10 other, 12, 11 other universes.
We were really hoping that they get into more Universe 6, exploring that Saiyan avenue, like maybe Vegeta going to like have his home world and stuff.
And honestly, when they came out and said, yeah, it's gonna be a Yamoshi-esque movie, and then a couple months later they were like, just kidding, it's Broly. I basically slit my wrists and lay down in traffic.
But the question is too now.
They probably already built that.
Now, were they erased to begin with because they were the weaker universes as well, or were they because they were trunks?
It could be either of those things. It could be the mortal level of those 4 universes previously erased was just so low beneath that mortal threshold level, whatever numbers established. Or it could just be like they were assholes, and Zeno was like, nah.
Marvel game that he does, it just
I think it's more likely that
Thanos
they were
shit.
just big assholes or giant troublemakers because they said, I want to say, forget the character, God of Gods, blue guy.
Zeno?
Yes, didn't he say?
Zeno Sama, God. GDB?
I don't deal with those guys, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Anyway,
so,
thank you. But anyway, didn't he say that Universe 7 had like the second to weakest fighters or the weakest fighters?
yeah, I believe it was the second to lowest, wasn't it? And then they had to fight Universe 9, the Trio of the Danger with Bergamo, and the whole idea was, well, if we're throwing Goku at these 3 clown dog weirdos and he's having a tough time, sorry, furry man, I'm sorry, but if they're having such a tough time with the lowest mortal level of Universe 9, what do these other universes have to hold? So they did a good job building out the world, fast-tracking it to have all these different characters, all these different worlds to explore, and then they were like, just kidding, it's over. So for them to pull the plug after they built out so many characters, if they don't go build out, I don't necessarily want to see Jiren. I don't really give any shits about that guy, but
I mean, Jiren was cool, but yeah, it would be cool to move on, maybe bring Hit back.
I want to see a planet full of Saiyans.
But yeah,
That's my biggest thing.
Supposedly I'm hearing.
what's that?
They're supposedly giving Jerry a whole new different origins.
So the movie coming out in December, it's worth noting that in terms of expectations, we're going to be following the storyline of the manga much more often. What's the difference? Obviously, the shortened versions of the Tournament of Power and some of the less dramatic shit happened. Master Roshi somehow having an influence on Goku learning mastered Ultra Instinct, but primarily there's no Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. There's no Kyle Ken times 20 SSB Goku.
Piccolo, Kid
Anime-only
Gohan.
creations. So, what are you guys expecting for this third act? Brandon, what do you think is going to happen? We know a ton about the first 2 acts. How do you think it's going to ultimately wrap up with this Broly thing?
I don't know. I'm looking at 2 avenues. I'm looking at you either have, big fight between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. That eventually turns into all 3 of them fighting against a new powerful Frieza. Or
Ooh, you think it's going to be a 3-way Saiyan tag team on a Frieza?
it could be. I could almost see it spinning that way, where Frieza becomes the ultimate enemy in that. And that, 3/4 of the way through the movie, as they're just getting wrecked by Broly, somehow they switch him and he switched sides. Or you could have a more classic Frieza teams up yet again with Goku and Vegeta, and they all work together to
I
take
think
out Broly.
Frieza's going to die in this movie.
I would be singing in the halls. I'd be singing like it's a friggin' 10 Christian show. Hallelujah!
He's like the perfect sinister bad
I am so fucking
I love Frieza more than any
Moving
other
on,
villain
moving on.
in Dragon Ball
Like,
If
history.
you're a villain, you're a villain. He's like,
But he has been played out. This is my only gripe. I'm throwing down now. This is my only
Here it
gripe with
comes.
Super. They have rehashed so much. If you think about it, like I said earlier, with Battle of the Gods and Frieza, first half of Super, as much as it was cool, is just replaying that. Then it's
First
like-
half of Super's terrible. The first 30 episodes of Super.
You can skip it. You can skip it.
The Trunks saga was pretty cool, but they rehashed by just turning Goku a different color, making Goku black. Still cool, still neat, but
It kind of
not
brings back the
necessarily
whole
original.
evil Goku idea, which again has been played out time and time
Kind
again.
of stupid, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean the way it was executed with the whole
The ending was
inclusion
whack.
of Zamasu being involved with
Yeah.
it allows you to go explore the deities of a Universe 11 Kai.
Damn time.
It's-
At least a little bit more. The time rings is where I really started to lose my patience. I'm like, so you got one,
Stop,
but then there's
time.
another one, but then because you used one before, now there's like a third and a fourth one, and I can't follow what's going on anymore.
Makes your head hurt,
Great,
man.
great video meme. 30-minute Vegito, whack. Ending to the Trunks saga, whack. All these rehashes, whack. Hit, he's tight as fuck.
Hit.
Fucking love it.
He's like the only like cool character to me because he's like mysterious, not like Jiren mysterious, but just like, yo, what's up with this dude? Like he can totally wreck everyone, but he's like, nah. Yeah.
Personally speaking, one or two things, maybe both of these things, I think will happen at the end of this Broly movie. You're either gonna get Ultra Instinct Goku, which wouldn't be much of a shock because we just saw him in the last arc, right? Or the route I would like them to go, don't give me an Ultra Instinct Goku. Make Gogeta canon.
No.
Seriously.
I feel like they've given us $1 billion in one.
Or the ultimate satisfaction to the movie that'll never ever happen.
What's that?
Vegeta comes out on top.
You know,
This would
I
be the movie to do it.
He won't.
All seriousness, this would be the movie to do it.
He
You
deserves it. He
Goku's
does.
crying in a ditch and Vegeta just comes in and saves
It'll
Throws him a sensu bean.
It'll vindicate him from the original Broly movie.
Which
Yes.
is sorely needed.
Oh
because
my!
that original
What if they
movie-
rehash that?
Yeah.
No, get out.
Oh!
Get out.
Oh no! I'm living a nightmare.
So with
No.
Jump,
Oh no!
after the Broly movie comes out December 14th,
Oh, no.
there is Jump Festa, which is a Shonen Jump exclusive carnival happening, carnival festival rather, in Japan where they make a bunch of big Shonen Jump announcements.
Yo, Krillin's getting in.
Krillin, what you got, baby?
So, the end of this movie, do you think they will actually kill Broly? Or just defeat him and have him either turn to an ally, or just be, I'll get you next time.
I think they're trying to set him up for the long play.
Yeah, they
man.
won't
If
kill
he's
him.
not
They
an
don't-
ally,
definitely
he's
won't
a
kill him.
recurring character at a minimum.
They'll make 3 new movies.
He might end the movie buried under a sheet of ice, much like the way he was found at the beginning of what, movie 2,
The second
right?
coming.
Also, don't we have a guarantee that there's at least 2 more movies?
We do. Well, no guarantee.
We don't know if they're Broly movies, but
Yo,
yeah.
back in October of 2017, the Shueisha Toei, they registered a bunch of domain names, Dragon Ball Movie 2018, 2019, and 2020. So, with the Jump Festa announcement coming out a week after the Broly movie in Japan, it's either going to be one of two things. A lot of people were really quick to jump and say, the manga's coming back in the spring. And believe you me, nobody on God's green earth wants that to happen more than I do. But I think it's kind of realistic to temper your expectations and say it might be a movie announcement for 2019. They could say, hey guys, you guys have a good time at that Broly movie last weekend?
Check this
That
out.
was dope as hell, right? Part 2, maybe not part 2 of Broly, but another Dragon Ball movie next December could be a very realistic expectation. So
And again, we want to reiterate for all of the complaining we've just done in the last 5 minutes.
all
about
I do is
Super.
complain.
We still look forward, like, we were when we were children, every Saturday night or Sunday morning, putting on that,
I want that back.
Facebook group
I
page
need it back.
that we can, watch our Superman
I'm
right
slapping
there.
it now.
What?
Nothing.
Even before the subtitle.
Get my cereal in my pajamas. And
Yeah, right?
So, could be an anime, could be a movie. We got about 20 minutes left, so I want to make sure everybody's got an opportunity to pitch their theory, what they want to see, in terms of either an anime coming back next spring, or maybe along the lines of the Broly, oh, that's a dirty effing habit I have to break, or maybe the Dragon Ball 2019 movie. I keep saying Broly movie, and it's the worst thing in the world because I hate Broly. But I'm making do with what I got. So, anybody want to kick us off?
I think it'll start again.
What you got, man?
I'm thinking that Vegeta and Goku would both kind of be beat, so then Whis or somebody knew this was gonna happen, so they called Hit for backup.
If Hit were to make an appearance in this movie, I would jump right over my seat. I'd probably run out to the lobby of the movie theater and be like, oh my God, it's here! Get kicked out of that movie theater, I'd buy tickets immediately for the next show and get the theater closest.
Hits a, well, yeah, he'd be like, Barris would be like, yo, Champa.
I would seriously hijack the film screen just to have that video of all the guys going, oh! That would be it right there. That's it.
I would pay good money to see Hit show up and be the one to take out Broly.
Would you pay as much as we would?
I feel like Whis would be more likely to be like, oh, you got killed? Temporal rewind 90 seconds and you're alive again, hooray! But if he were thoughtful enough to invite Hit to the party, that would be a good time. I would be down with that. What you got, Sleeper?
So, my biggest thing, obviously, I'm a Vegeta fan.
You?
My biggest thing would have been what you already said. I want the Universe 6 storyline they were talking about, where Kaba brings him to Universe 6. They meet, who runs that.
Sadala.
Yeah,
Interesting name.
All of that. I would want a whole arc for that. If Dragon Ball Super came back.
If the anime comes back, that
Yeah,
better be
so since you already said that, besides that, there were a lot of universes we never got to see.
Yeah. I mean,
They were automatically too powerful enough.
Even universes we did see, we didn't really see.
Exactly.
Universe
So,
3, Universe 4, gone.
What I want to
There's
see.
even a couple universes we don't want to see.
Yeah, nothing about love.
I don't want to see.
Power Ripper, yeah!
I don't want to see any more of another tournament. I want to see Goku and Vegeta or whoever else go off to one of these other universes because they're trying to pick a big fight. They picked the wrong fight, so then they gotta call in Hit and Jiren and everybody else.
Royal Rumble.
Boom to fight them.
We get an actual
as like the
Royal
ultimate power. No tournament. No rules. No nothing.
Yeah, rules are for suckers.
I'm so sick of seeing tournaments. Like I'm so done with tournaments.
Refs, what is it? Refs? Come on.
Yeah, no refs.
But
that's
ref
I want
is
to see
the
them and then
Grand Minister or whatever they're calling him in America.
So is that like the Dragon Ball equivalent of Rough and Rowdy now?
kinda. I just want like a big battle royale to go on with like Universe we haven't
But
seen.
like a proper royale.
But like you said, with
the tournament.
almost, yeah. Like let's get it.
Krillin's up next.
Krillin, what you got, baby?
Think Xenozama's gonna get bored and say, I want another Royal Rumble?
Oh my God!
I hope
Imagine if
not.
they rely on that trope right away. They're like, here's a rehash of the Broly tournament. Remember that cool tournament of power we did last month?
Here's another rehash.
Doing it again.
If that happens, then I'm telling you, the next movie is going to be called Resurrection C, and they bring Cell back.
I would like that more than
I like that a lot more.
another tournament.
Bring Android 21 in, maybe.
Android 21's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, let's get some Damien
I'm
Clark
waiting
for
for
it.
Ooh. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, whatever happened to Ooh?
Because then we can get GT tie-in.
They talked about him while they were gathering,
They did. They were like,
Yeah.
there's a guy, there's somebody in like the Eastern whatever village.
He's just a little kid right
Exactly. So we know that he exists, and it's important that
One wish
they
to
acknowledge
GT,
his
man.
existence. But
Make
let's
it
hope
last
they use
7
that and
years.
bridge it into
One
a
wish
way
to
to be
GT,
like,
man.
moving beyond this 7-year
now.
window.
Have Fat Boo incorporate his powers again like he did in GT.
Maju?
I was so let
We
down
get some
when
Maju
Fat
action
Boo was
back
in
in
the
Super. I'd be
tournament,
down with that.
Yeah.
and they were like, "No, we just play it. He's sleeping." I'm like,
Yeah,
"No."
yeah.
Like he warned me. He was
He's
like,
sleeping.
"Hey, Boo's not gonna happen. They're just joking."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, Frieza. They're just gonna be like, aha, we're just kidding, And then,
Who
and then
would
it
have
never happened. I'm
been?
like,
Who would have been too OP to have in the tournament power? We discussed it a
Yeah,
billion
we-
times.
Terminator the
Anyone
candy
else
and
got
shit.
hopes for the future of Dragon Ball Super? What you got, man? Brandon, part 2. I remember your name. Miracle.
Well, what I'm actually hoping to see is actually Frieza teaming up with Android 17. Well, actually, they meet first, and then Frieza teams up with Goku, and then Android 17 teams up with Vegeta, and they both say, "Fuck Broly, let's go after Jiren."
So wait, let me make sure I got it right. So it's a 4-way versus Jiren.
Yeah.
But they're skipping over Broly.
Yeah.
But they're just like, nah, forget Broly. He's small potatoes.
Fuck Broly, let's go after.
We understand the Earth is at risk. Yeah.
Hallelujah!
That's not a fight. Not a real fight.
I would like to see Android 17 involved in any capacity in this movie. I don't think that we will, unfortunately. We're gonna get some Piccolo. We're gonna get some Goten and Trunks. I'm pretty sure your boy Gohan Alicia's getting the shot.
Krillin will probably get bitch smashed.
Sorry about that.
I-
Krillin, you're gonna show up in the first 10 minutes and be like, "Hey, Goku, you going to fight some shit? See you later." It's gonna be Krillin.
You know who's
You're singing karaoke.
You know who's gonna save the day in the Broly movie?
Is it Yamcha?
Nope. Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Blue Gotenks.
I would be so.
I'd be
Like,
down.
they,
I don't know what
have,
they're saying.
they have thrown it in the gutter.
No.
What if we see, and this is something I wrote down, I think, but I didn't actually say it because it's a little ridiculous when I say it out loud. Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta? Is that out of the realm of possibility for Act 3 of this movie?
I don't think you need the blue. I think it should be Ultra Instinct Gogeta.
I feel like you could do Ultra Instinct Gogeta, but
But you don't need to be blue. You just need white hair.
We've never seen a non-powered up Gogeta, right? We've only seen him in Super Saiyan and Fusion Reborn, and that one episode for
Okay,
SSJ
so here's my thing.
GT.
The spoiler for the card for the new Dragon Ball card game.
Oh, we got inside knowledge on the card game.
Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta.
Really?
Let's just put that in your head.
No. Is that
the
for
secret
event
rare
is
for
that
the new
event
set coming
on
out.
Monday night?
It's for the new set coming out. No. In the new set that's coming out, like in a week or two, the special secret rare for the set is Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta. They've already spoiled the art.
Whoa.
What?
So
haven't
how would
seen
you
this
like
at all.
that showing
Tell you
up?
what.
You see that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta though?
So then couldn't that
No, it was Gogeta that was Super SS4.
they would turn Super Saiyan 3 Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta in versus Broly?
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. It could be.
Because they're not strong enough to go God
Any
or...
more predictions on the future of
Yeah.
Dragon Ball that we want to get in here tonight? I don't think we've
So,
got anything.
tell you what, let me help you out too.
Uh-oh, what's your
Let me help
thought,
you out
Brandon?
too. Something we did discuss real quick. But why are two of the other main characters that they keep talking about, that getting characters for, are Gohan and Piccolo?
Gohan's not going to be in this movie.
I
dude.
wish Gohan
Piccolo
would
will be.
be.
But what's up with Piccolo? Why is he important?
Because he's cool as
No,
hell.
I know that, but like, they must be throwing something down if they're bringing him up to that level.
I don't think they're
He's
bringing
gotta
him
show
that
up and
level
smack
with regards
Vegeta
to his
again.
ability to
What do
battle.
you
I think
expect?
they're
He's a Namek.
He's a Namekian. He's got the brain. I'm
fused
sure if he
Kami,
really
yeah.
wanted to, he could stretch out his arms and heal somebody from afar. Like,
I always thought he was good. I
It's
never
what he's
thought he
never
would come
had.
out as a bad guy.
I
He
don't.
started as a guy.
He started as the
Exactly.
baddest of guys, literally
Yeah.
the demon king, Piccolo timeout. But
His friends started off as bad guys.
exactly. And with that being said, it's like, do they really try to bring that full circle on Frieza? Because they did everything in the world to try to make sure that Frieza was on the right side of the law at the end of the Tournament of Power. So,
Alright.
are they really going to go out of their way to bring in that Goku, Vegeta, Frieza three-way against Broly?
I mean, that might happen because if that bracelet control breaks off, they might not have no choice.
They might not have anything else. Or it could be something on the opposite side. It could be like Broly just overheats and just melts.
Very cool.
Because there's been so many different like teases of like the true Super Saiyan form is going to be shown in this movie.
All right, gentlemen, let's turn our mics around for a sec and have a quick little powwow.
Oh, hold on, though. I'm looking at this leaked art. I'm looking at this leaked art. Let's help us out.
That's what I'm saying. The Broly movie, man.
Wait a minute, though. He's got a Halo on. He's got a Halo on.
know, man.
Null and void. Null and void. That's Fusion Reborn Gogeta, and he hits Super Saiyan 3 somehow.
Alright.
Stop coming in here spreading lies,
Show
Sleeper.
you a good picture. That's a good picture.
Dude, you're the guy? I heard about your tattoo a little while ago.
Really?
From Sleeper.
Yeah, tell him that, yeah.
I am not going to make my
Isn't that sweet? I like the initial comment, though, but yeah.
I will not make
I told you about that. That's baby. Yeah.
All right, well, that was pretty, I mean, I was kind of, it was a serious debate as to who we were going to nominate on this, but I think my brother Brandon, he hasn't been on the show in like 2.5 months, so.
Yo, Deadpool fan.
Hey,
Why don't you get on that fourth mic real quick?
Yeah, come on up and join us, buddy. Woo! What's your name? Alessandro.
Oh, Alessandro.
You want to go? Can you
Come
get
on
up
up
on
to the
that
mic.
side? No? Cool. Come scoot back through here.
Alright.
So,
When you get to the mic, we want you to say your name and your theory
yes.
of what the future Dragon Ball is.
My name's Alessandro.
Alessandro!
So,
And I'm thinking that Jiren might come out of nowhere and just go with Broly and then
whoa, you're reneging on
Whether
that
it's
deal.
Jiren
Whoa,
or it's Hit, right?
You
It's Hit
said
we're talking
Hit.
about. If Hit shows up and takes care of business, that's going to be something to watch, right?
yeah, but then if Jiren also comes up, he joins
Oh,
Broly.
then Broly's
Yeah.
super dead, man, right?
Well, tell you what, either way, we hope you like Bulma, because she signed this for you.
Honestly, I think Brandon weighed heavy on that because he loves Hit so much.
It was just like, yeah.
So take the ball on the drive home, Funko Pop.
We see it on eBay, we're coming after you.
I mean, good luck getting more than like $10 for something that says Dragon Ball Super on it. That is yours to have, my friend Alessandro. I like your theory, man. Hopefully it'll come true. Until we get the new anime in April. That's really, if I get a new anime in April, I'll be alright. Because right now I'm not alright. Look at me, I'm a goddamn mess. Anything else we gotta get done before we, oh yeah, Monday night. If you guys are in the Providence area, we are doing another event on Monday night. In case you didn't hear, a certain events company, Fathom Events, they are re-releasing a couple of the Jesus, Broly movie again!
They're re-releasing Bardock
a couple
and
of Dragon Ball Z movies in
the
theaters.
Gogeta movie.
So Gogeta Fusion Reborn and Bardock the Father of Goku TV special. They're going to be in theaters on Monday night. And if it's anything like the Broly one was last month, Warwick, Providence, Swansea. There was a fourth one too, right?
No, just the three.
Was it the three?
Yeah.
Basically, it's going to be everywhere local. So we're going to be doing a live podcast on Monday night at Askew in Providence. That's 150 Chestnut Street. We will have a different autograph Funko Pop up for grabs with
This
some
one of Big Mike Norm, actually.
with some Dragon Ball Z trivia.
No.
It's
You're the
Monday night.
Funko, not your
Monday
Wait,
Funko.
you're gonna be at a Skew Prov on a Monday night?
On a Monday night.
Providence
Yeah,
on
that's
Monday
right. That's
night.
the place where I go to do stand-up comedy on Tuesday.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, our podcast is going to be kind of like stand-up comedy.
Except not nearly as funny or entertaining.
But are you guys into comedians?
I drink a lot of beers.
I'm
It's kind of like being a
Yeah, that
comedian,
doesn't.
right?
They're kind of funny, yeah.
So on Monday night, we're going to be kicking the show off at about 10 o'clock. If you guys want to come in, get down with some Dragon Ball trivia, the winner will walk with another autographed Funko Pop. That is not Walmart.
Winner chicken dinner.
Winner, did you get this? This has been kind of
Askew in Providence.
Askew in Providence, 150
You should probably
Chestnut
spell
Street.
it for them.
Around what time?
10 o'clock the show's
ASKEW.
going to happen. So once the
In
show...
Providence.
I actually know the owner of that place.
Which one you know, John or Winsong?
Winsong.
Winsong's the best. She's my girl. I love her.
Yeah, in fact, she used to work in there over at Alchemy, where I also used to do stand-up.
Oh, you know Davey too?
All right.
Davey.
Davey Moore.
As Matthew McConaughey once said, all right.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for Super Dope. Make sure you come hang out with the original. Make sure you come hang out at the event on Monday night.
The
God,
Broly
it's a good event.
right?
What's that? Yeah, come out to the Broly movie event on Monday night. So Fusion Report.
Was that
Bardock,
one? I think it's 150 Chestnut.
150 Chestnut Street.
Yeah.
And
Askew.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Let's see. All right, what you got, man?
He's taking over.
I'm cool with it. I wish we didn't get you off the mic. What do you got?
so if at all Gohan does come in this movie,
I don't know, man. He might be in the beginning. He might be hanging out with Krillin in the beginning, being like, "Oh, I'm brought my daughter Pan."
Oh, see you guys
Gotta
later.
go
Have
read a
fun.
book.
Bye,
See ya.
Goku.
and then out of nowhere,
Story time.
I want to see Panda.
Yeah, I'm sure we still hope
like
he gets shows.
Broly is about to kill Piccolo, and then they actually flip it, and Gohan saves Piccolo.
And Gohan's like, "Well, pow! You
I
gotta
would
save
cry.
the day."
I would cry.
That would be pretty cool.
All right, we need your help on this one, guys. Count of three.
We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna give you a Super Sensory deprivation calls right across the way. Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Fuck Broly. Let's go after G-Ren.